What's up, cool cats and kittens? It is Uncle Mad here. Another day in the Nashville Hot Chicken Week celebration. And today we are going to be checking out one of the OGs, one of the well-established all-time favorites amongst the Nashville Hot Chicken locations. We're going to check out Hattie B's today. Hattie B's is one I've had on the list to go to, but I kind of been putting it off because everybody knows they're amongst the best, so I was kind of trying to check out some of the newer ones, some of the kind of more off the radar ones, and I was going to get to Hattie B's eventually. But when I was looking over the options of what all the different participating restaurants were going to have for their Nashville Hot Chicken Week special, outside of that Crunchwrap Supreme that we got in the last video, Hattie B's had the one that looked the most compelling and interesting to me. It is Dirty Bird fries with pimento mac and cheese. I think we're seeing a pattern here. If you throw some mac and cheese with pimento in there, I'm probably going to lean toward it. So we're getting that today. We're going to sample that. And as always, we'll also sample their hot chicken too. So we're going to go pick that up. And we're going to go back home, try it all out. And while we're taste testing it, I'm going to let you know what I'm rocking with, what I'm going with for the Super Bowl bets this week. Nashville Hot Chicken Week, Super Bowl week, big game week, bets, chicken, it's everything. What more could you ask for? It's basically two videos rolled into one, all for free, no charge, for you, the people, my people. I'm rambling now. Let's get to the next part of the video. All right, we're here to get our curbside pickup. Gonna call the number, have them bring our food out, and then we're going to eat it. All right, so quick overview of Hattie B's menu here. You can get a side plate, the different variations on the chicken you can get there, sandwiches, all the usual stuff you'd expect from your standard hot chicken restaurant. Good looking stuff here. I don't know how people eat the bone-on hot chicken. It seems like you'd get the hot stuff all over your hands and it would mess everything up, but who knows. Got family packs. Here's the other sides they've got. Those grits look interesting. Might have to get that in the future. Of course, desserts. I will be picking up a banana pudding for Jesta. Also, I'm not a drinker, but if you are, they have a pretty good-looking beer selection, I would say. Once again, not a drinker, so I don't know what's good beer and what's not. Down here, you can order the extras, extra sauces, dipping sauces, drinks, beverages, Sprites, Cokes, Pepsis. I don't know about Pepsis. I think I'm talking out of my butt right now. But yeah, here's all the stuff extra you can get down. All right, so we are back from Hattie B's. Got our food. Let's run through all we got. For the hot, I kind of pulled out a little hack on this one. I got the child's plate because it was just one tender, and I'm not going to eat the whole tender as it is because I'm just going to get a sampling of the hot, so that made sense. And it came with a side, so I got potato salad because I thought that would be useful for cooling me down if it is exceptionally hot. I also got potato salad for my wife, Jesta, because I know where my bread is buttered. Happy wife, happy life. And then we have these. The Dirty Bird fries, the main event, the main thing we went to get there. Those look pretty dadgum good. I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, we're going to get into our Super Bowl picks, as I mentioned. So we've got a lot going on this one. I am starving, so I'm super ready to get into this and eating. If you watched the Red 615 episode, I ate way too much in that one, so I'm glad I got a little bit smaller of a meal here because I was like bloated and felt disgusting the entire rest of the day after that one. But if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it because it was a lot of fun and it was delicious, and the Crunchwrap Supreme was great. All right, so let's get into the food first. We'll talk Super Bowl as we go. Go right out of the gates. First bet that I placed on the game, Chiefs -3. I put that in pretty much right away. DraftKings had a 55% profit boost if you put in an early bet. And my brain has just been on Chiefs. Every time somebody's asked me about game, about even throughout the playoffs, who did I think was going to go to the Super Bowl. I've been saying Chiefs until somebody beats the Chiefs. I just have to stick with the Chiefs. So having it at -3, that felt like a safe number to go with the Chiefs at. So took that with the 55% profit boost. Then I also added, and a few days later, MGM had pick a side at even money, and they had the Chiefs at -3.5. That hook's a little iffy, that extra half point, but I went ahead and did it anyway. I'm all in on the Chiefs. I'm just basically going to ride them and either lose it all or win it all with them, so that's probably not a great strategy. I don't know how to hedge. If anybody wants to explain to me how to hedge, I would love to know, because I pretty much go all in on one team and then either lose it all or gain it all. So that's the things that I have 100% locked in so far. Those two bets, Chiefs -3, Chiefs -3.5. I've got in my head what I want to do on some other picks, but I haven't officially locked anything in yet. I figured maybe if I talk myself through it here on the video, I'll get myself over the line of what I'm thinking. But before we get into that, let's try this Dirty Bird. That is good. I like it. I like this type of food because this is basically the way I make food at home. I just make a scramble of stuff together, like breakfast. I'll just throw a whole bunch of stuff in the pan: eggs, bacon, cheese, potatoes, whatever I got. Scramble it all up. So this is kind of like that, and I dig it. So, looking at the total for the game, it's anywhere between 56 and 57. I don't like either number. The number I have in my head for this game is 28-17 Chiefs. I don't know why. There's no science behind that. There's no logic to it. It's just the number that sounds right when I'm thinking about the game. Would you put the game at an under? I don't bet unders because they're boring, they're terrible, they're destructive, they're anti-football, they're not fun to root for. But if you're thinking you want to bet the total, I would lean under, just because I think the Bucs defense is really good, and I think the Chiefs defense is better than they get credit for. So I think this won't be quite as high scoring as maybe the over-under total number would suggest. 57. You're basically saying one team definitely has to get at least 30 points, 40 points for that to hit. And that's, like I said, 28-17 feels like a number that I'm seeing for this game. That's just me. This is really good, by the way. I am totally loving this. Totally loving this. The other big thing for the game, obviously, is going to be props. Much like my bet on the game, I'm leaning on the Chiefs props. I'm betting everything over for Travis Kelce. He's been playing like a madman throughout the playoffs and going back into the regular season. Everything's been hitting over with him, so that's probably when I'm probably jumping on it too late, so you might want to fade me on that. But I'm going to go over on his receptions, over on his yards. I'm going to have him for anytime touchdown. I'm going to have him for first touchdown. I might actually throw a little bit on Tyreek Hill and all that too, because I feel like the odds of the Bucs being able to shut down both those guys is low. So if one kind of has a quiet game, the other's going to go off. So that makes sense, right? Put a little bit on both because one of them's going to hit for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to lean more heavily on Kelce because he seems to be the one that's more of a matchup problem. Even though in the first game, Tyreek Hill had over 200 yards in the first quarter receiving, that seems like that's something that the Bucs are going to target and try to figure out a way to not let that happen again. Kelce's just a matchup nightmare, so I don't know if there's anything they can do to completely slow him down. And I also see a scenario where their pass rush is so good that Kelce just gets a bunch of catches as like dump-offs, safety net, dump-off passes to avoid the pressure that's going to be coming from the Bucs. So I'm going to go heavy on the Kelce, maybe throw a little bit on some of the Tyreek Hill props too, because I think one or both of them is just going to go off in this game. All right. Whew. All right, so the Dirty Bird chicken, really, really good. Loved it all together, just kind of smashed together. Probably would have been a little better if it was inside of a crunch wrap, if I'm being honest. But that was good. I would definitely get something like that again. It was a nice way to have fries and mac and cheese, which I tried to do yesterday and got way too much, and not overload yourself. I actually don't feel stuffed, don't feel bloated, feeling pretty good about myself. Probably could still stand to go for a run, get a little exercise in, but Not going to get to do that today. Actually, I already went for a run this morning. Who am I kidding? Sick brag, I run, right? All right, so only thing left to do is talk about the fun props for the Super Bowl and to eat the hot chicken. So I'm going to talk about the props first because looking at this piece of chicken, I think I'm going to lose my mind and probably not be able to speak clearly once I eat this. That's what the potato salad's for, though, to help me cool down. I will say one thing about the Dirty Bird chicken. I got mild on the chicken that was within that. I think I could have gone up to medium because it was a good spice, but I probably could have tolerated just a tad bit more. I don't know how much of a big jump it is between mild and medium, but if I got that again, or if I got hot chicken again from Hattie B's, I'd probably go up to medium just to test it out, see where I'm at, just to give you an idea of where, if you're following along with heat levels and stuff like that. The single kid tender I got is Nashville Hot. I think like a lot of places, they have two modifications that are actually hotter than Nashville Hot, but we're always going Nashville Hot. Whatever they call Nashville Hot, if that's the top level, we get it. If it's two down from the top, we get it. Nashville Hot, that's where we're going, that's what we're doing. All right, so the special fun props for the Super Bowl. There's three I always look at because they're just stupid and they're always entertaining and they make a dumb, monotonous part of the game seem a lot more fun. Number one, the national anthem. Over, under, over, under, over, under. I always tend to lean over because I always think like these artists are going to just milk the moment, sing for as long as they can. They want to hit those notes and show off what a good singer they are. So unless it's like a crazy high number on the total, I usually go with the over. The one exception to that is a lot of times I wait till closer to game time to officially lock that in because somebody on Twitter or somewhere else on the radio, you'll hear somebody that got some inside info. Somebody was at the dress rehearsals, somebody was at the practice runs, and they got the official time on what it's doing, and that kind of gives you a better idea of maybe what. So that could shift my thinking on that, but I'll definitely make a play on that. Most likely the over because that usually feels like that's what hits. Especially because now the last couple years there's been a little bit of weirdness on it because we've had artists who've gone brave, stopped, brave, 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 said brave a few times, maybe made it into multiple words that aren't part of the anthem. There's been some controversy over whether that counts or not, whether the first brave ends and that's the end of the song. I believe it was either last year or the year before they cut to the flyover and people weren't sure if the anthem was still going or not, or if they fly over. So it's always fun to bet because you're sitting there watching the anthem and being like, oh my God, with your clock on, like, did I get it? Did I get it? Like I said, I lean over on that just because it feels like the artists are going to sing for long. Next one, next phase, the pregame, the coin toss. Tails never fails. That's probably what I'll bet on. Unless I don't think there's any insider info that's going to change that one. The last one, so those are two pregame ones. This is a postgame one. The Gatorade bath. What color is the Gatorade going to be? It's that last thing. You're sitting there. You've lost every bet all day long. You've got one last bet you're hanging on to. Please let it be the color I picked. And then it never is. I've heard a lot of people suggesting red as the go-to for this season because both teams are primarily red-colored teams. I'm leaning orange. I believe orange was the color last year for the Chiefs. If they win again, I don't know why they would suddenly have decided they like a different flavor of Gatorade. So I'm thinking orange again. But for some reason, I also have that classic lemon lime in my head. And depending on what the odds are, I might put a little bit on both. If it's something where if one hits, I'll still make money even if I lose one. So orange is my favorite right now. Lemon lime is a close second. Like I said, might put a little bit on both if it works out to where I'll make money either way. But that's my thoughts on that. Interestingly enough, those props, unless I just can't find them, aren't up on any of the sports books that I use, the new legal ones that we've gotten here in Nashville since November. And I'm wondering if, like I said, because they can be kind of manipulated, people can have that information. I'm wondering if that's not going to be on the books at all, or maybe they're just coming up closer to game time. Because last week I thought there might be odds on there for the Royal Rumble, and there weren't. So I don't know if because these more entertainment style odds, these things like that can be manipulated. People can know in advance what they're going to be. I don't know if they put those up or not. Maybe they won't be there. But if they are there, that's what I'm rolling with. Orange, maybe lemon lime, over on the anthem, tails for the coin toss. The coin toss ones are up. I know they're up, and I know I'm going to go tails on that. So we'll see there, what happens there. But as always, I will always tweet out whatever my final picks are, so you can follow me on Twitter at Uncle Mad, at Uncle_Mad, Mad spelled with 2 D's. It's in the description below as well if I didn't spell it clearly enough for you, but that's what we're going with for the Super Bowl. I'm sure there'll be like 100 podcasts and other Twitter accounts that I follow. They'll be putting out additional picks, and I'll go, that makes sense, and I'll add those too. So, like I said, keep an eye on what I'm doing on Twitter. But with that being said, let's see how this hot chicken is going to be now. Look at that side. That side's a nice little orange. Doesn't look like it's going to be too bad, but if you flip it over, yeah, there's that darkness that's going to really probably kick my butt on this. So, Hattie B's Nashville Hot. Let's see how it is. Which side do I want to cut into? Which side looks like it's going to be better? Let's go right here for this little sucker right here. Potato salad on standby to save me. Okay. Bone apple teas. It's hot for sure. I can feel a little bit of the buildup starting. I don't think it's too bad. I think that's tolerable for me because I'm waiting for that second level, that next heat wave to kick in, and I haven't got it so far. It's kind of like yesterday or the last video, the Red 615, I was ready to say that it wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be, and then like the later heat came on that one. I'm waiting for that on this, but I'm not getting it, so I'm actually going to do another bite. Gosh, okay, I can live with that. That's there's heat for sure, but it's not overwhelming me like some of the hots do. I probably wouldn't order Nashville Hot just because it is maybe a touch too hot, but this also shows me between the mild that I had there, the hot here, Hattie B's medium seems to me, just if I'm doing the math right, has to be just about the perfect temperature level for me. So when I go back to Hattie B's, it seems like medium's definitely going to be what I'm going to. I wouldn't order this, but if like somebody just had like an extra portion of the hot, I wouldn't turn it down because I think this is a heat level that I could tolerate eating and would enjoy, but it wouldn't be my preference. But let's dig into this potato salad, see how it is. Didn't need it as much as I thought I would, but it looks good too. It's like more mayo based, which I like potato salad that's mayo based over mustard based, so see how it is. Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess maybe got bacon bits in there too, maybe. That's good. All right, so I guess that'll wrap us up. I think the Dirty Bird fries versus the Crunchwrap. The Crunchwrap's probably the winner. But that was really good. I would definitely get that again. Hattie B's lives up to the hype. I mean, it is one of the best, so it'll definitely be a place that I'll continue to eat in the future. And you should too. But what you should also do, give this video a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me where else we should eat. What other hot chicken places should we check out? Nashville Hot Chicken Week is wrapping up, but I'm going to continue to go to all the different hot chicken places around town, check them out. Just did more this week since it was Hot Chicken Week and they're having some special deals and stuff like that. But continue to let me know in the comments down below what other places we should check out. Excuse me. Where we should go. I've got a list, but I'm always adding to it anytime I hear about something new. Reds, for example, just got added earlier this week. Went there already because that Crunchwrap was just too hard to pass up. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have the bell turned on for notifications so that you get updates when we do future videos
whether they're hot chicken related or not. Gamble responsible. Ugh, I'm losing a little bit of talkability. I think this hot chicken is slowly shutting my brain down. Gamble responsibly. Tune in to the Super Bowl. It's going to be fun one way or the other. Betting just makes it a little bit more fun, especially since none of my teams are involved. My only team, the Titans. I don't know why I said none of my teams. I don't have multiple teams. No Titans. Betting makes it fun. Brain's slowly shutting down, so I'm going to wrap it up. And remind you, as always, don't stand so close to me. Go Chiefs, because if the Chiefs don't win, I'm losing everything.